Hi, this is Melanie of Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do a review of the Tamil film Vikram, starring Kamal Haasan, Fahadh Faasil, and Vijay Sethupathi. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do film reviews and trailer reactions of Indian cinema. All right, this has been a long-awaited film. I really enjoy the films of Lokesh Kanagaraj, and of course, like everything else, this was delayed because of COVID. And when I saw the trailer, I couldn't kind of figure out the relationship between all the different characters, but this is a film that it just has a lot of my favorites all in one movie. I mean, who doesn't love Kamal Haasan? But then Fahadh Faasil, if you're not a fan of Malayalam cinema, he is one of the finest actors of Malayalam cinema. He did make his Tamil debut with Super Deluxe, also starring Vijay Sethupathi, who is also in this film. And then I was surprised with more appearances. Of course, we know that Surya does a cameo, and that's at the very end. He's completely unhinged. Oh my God. There were other supporting roles that are other favorite actors of mine that I was not expecting. So there's a tie to the world of the Kaithi movie. Narain is in this as Vijay again. And then Chemban Vinod, who again is another big actor and writer in Malayalam cinema, has a role as a police chief in this. The setup, there's been a series of murders and the police are trying to keep it quiet. Chemban Vinod's police chief brings in Amar and his blackguard secret kind of police team. Amar is Fahadh Faasil. So the first half of the film, first 2/3 of the film, is really mostly Fahadh Faasil. And I was pleasantly surprised at what a huge role that he had in this film. And so he's trying to puzzle out. We see a person named Kamal Haasan. Something happens to him and he's investigating all of the past of this person and trying to connect the dots. Fahadh Faasil gets to do so much more action and like kicking ass. I mean, it was amazing. So absolutely love that. Vijay Sethupathi plays a character we've kind of seen before. Okay, he plays a drug lord gangster. He has a gold tooth that so he is one of the main villains of the film, bringing together three of these huge talents. And I love that the first half of the film, we're getting flashbacks of Kamal Haasan's different mysterious things that he's been doing, and so Fahadh Faasil's character is trying to piece it all together. And so Kamal Haasan has a presence in the first half of the film, but it's more in the first half of the film because Fahadh is trying to find out what he was up to and there's all these flashbacks and different lines of investigation that he's going down to try to figure it out. So I really enjoyed all of that setup. And then maybe after the intermission is more like the last third of the film, which is a lot of action and big confrontations. Kamal Haasan, of course, has a huge part in a lot of action scenes and so forth. I mostly really enjoyed this film. But Lokesh Kanagaraj, I am going to love you forever for writing and directing this movie because of one particular scene. I do not want to spoil it, but let me just say that there is a woman character who surprisingly turns out to be a blackguard agent and kills people with forks. Love that scene so much. It was so surprising. I ate it up with a spoon. It was so great. It was so great. I wished all of the movie had the energy and a little bit of humor that was in that film. Frankly, the film is 3 hours long. To me, a little bit too long. A little bit too long. But, you're packing in screen time for all of these big players, okay? And the cameo is not just 2 seconds of Surya at the end. I'm like, Whoa, is he unhinged in the end? And obviously is set up for a possible sequel. There's one scene that calls back to Kaithi. Like, we don't see Kaithi, but we see a hand on, a truck steering wheel with the handcuff. I think like he's connecting all of these films together in his own universe, his own writing universe. I was expecting the film to be mostly Kamal Haasan and just a little bit of Fahadh Faasil and a little bit of Vijay Sethupathi, and I got so much more of both of them than I was expecting. So I know Kamal Haasan was one of the producers of the film, so kudos to him for sharing the wealth, like letting the film breathe in a narrative way that it made sense. Kudos to him for, bringing in this massive talent and then letting them have a significant part of the movie as well. So I love that. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I saw it in a matinee, so I didn't see it with a raucous crowd. I can only imagine. I mean, there's so much fan service in this film for Vijay Sethupathi fans, for Fahadh Faasil fans, but especially for Kamal Haasan fans. I mean, we open with one dance number. This is not the kind of movie that they break into random songs in the middle of it. That's not what creates the 3-hour length, but there is one at the beginning, which is very fun. Somebody joked with me, did Fahadh Faasil act with his eyes? Because that's what he's known for. How many articles have been written about his eye acting? Actually, not so much. It was much more with his fists and gunplay. Let's just put it that way. He had a lot of action scenes, but I also just love that he was sort of the detective trying to figure out all the puzzle pieces and how everything fit together. And I will say, for a film that has this message about the whole purpose behind a certain person who died was to eliminate the drug trade and a drug kingpin in Chennai, and having this message that the person who is carrying on is not just for revenge, but also to eliminate this. They're showing Vijay's character constantly, I don't know if he's supposed to be on methamphetamines or what it is, but like he's constantly taking a drug and like then getting super strength to do all these fights. So it's kind of a mixed message. Okay, like, showing like, oh, it makes you like a superhuman. Okay. Anyway, but I mean, obviously he's shown as a villain and he gets his just desserts at the end. Not a lot of strong characterizations of women. There is a character who was involved with Fahadh Faasil, played by Gayatri Shankar. She was new to me. I was not familiar with her before. But the main part of the movie is really about the men, except, like I said, for my very favorite scene, fork action. Let me tell you. All right, definitely a film worth seeing in the theater with a fun crowd. Highly recommend. Wish it would have been tightened up a little bit, 3 hours. Thank God my theater here outside of Chicago has started to do an intermission because I definitely needed a break in the middle. Subtitles of this film, of course, are by Rakes, my favorite subtitleist. I do have to chuckle, though, because, I mean, there wasn't a lot of songs except for the opening song for her to do her trademark rhyming in English of the song lyrics, but whenever certain characters would swear and they were saying the F word in English, it was translated as shucks. I'm guessing that possibly that was for Middle Eastern censors or something. I don't know, but it gave me such a chuckle every time. And the S word ended up being like crap. I mean, it was like all shucks. There was one point at the end where somebody was swearing. Actually, I think it was Surya, and then it was like F, asterisk, 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 like showing that it was the F word. But all the other places it was shucks. That's not what they were saying. Let me know if you've had a chance to see this film, what you thought about it in the comments below. Are you hoping that, as it seems to be implied at the end, that they're setting up a kind of a franchise with this, and there's going to be a sequel to what Surya showed us at the end? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for that. All right. Follow me on Twitter at PardeziYT. Follow me on Instagram at Pardesi Reviews. And if you hit the bell here, you'll never miss another trailer action or film review.